The things that I see on tape, it just leaves me with where I'm sure it leaves a lot of y'all after the game. Now, sometimes I go back and watch film, and I'm like, okay, I actually feel better about Arkansas's process. Now it's getting to the point now where we keep making the same mistakes. And this is tough because, I'm a big fan of this program. I'm a big fan of these guys. Outside of the football field, we got some incredible guys. I talk to Caleb Wooden every week on the Zone. I talk to Mike Washington every week on the Zone. I really think Mike Washington and I could be really good friends. Right? He has so many cool interests outside of football. I had plenty of times talking to Taylor Green. Like, these are good kids, all right? Let's not get that twisted, okay? But Coach Petrino had something in a press conference, and, as much as I'm going to talk about Taylor in some clips here today, I thought it was fair. And he told Taylor, people who sign up for the quarterback position, what comes with that is the criticism. You got to put it all on your shoulders. And sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes it's going to be tough to take in. But he always reminds his guys, this is what you signed up for. This is just part of it, because you're going to get all the praise when we win. And then the thing about it is, we could lose a game and you could be the only one doing something right, and all 10 guys could do something wrong, but it's still going to be on your shoulders, okay? So let's get into it. Let's watch some film. And I'm going to pick up from the first drive. I don't think you could have asked for a better start to the game. I think everybody was watching this, and exactly what you would expect from a Coach Petrino who has time to prepare for a matchup. They come out just swinging on all cylinders. He had them coached up. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the very first play of the game. Very efficient, great play call, great execution, and just doing such a great job doing the right way. So what we saw here, we ran this play before, I believe it was against Mississippi State, and there was some bad miscommunication, and it ended up being a tackle for a loss. They go back to it. They trust it. Hey, let's do what we're supposed to do, get it done the right way. It leaves a nice little fake read option, and now Taylor made a good decision, got the pitch out to Mike Washington, and picks up about 8 yards on first down. Let's keep this thing rolling, fellas, out of the gate. Baton Rouge on the road. We want the ball. Let's make something happen with it. Now, I will say this. This is something that popped up extremely early in the game, and it's funny because if you watched our breakdown leading up into the game, if you watched the pregame show, I circled number 88, and I said, this dude has some juice, okay? I said, he reminds me of a Malcolm Shepard from back in the day. I saw it on tape then, and he did it in the very first drive. Look at this get-off right here. This dude had a nose for our snap count. I'm going to address that here in just a little bit, but look at that get-off. I mean, just pushes everybody into the backfield, and so I'm going to address that a little bit later. How do you play against guys like that? I got a solution, and I feel like we missed on opportunities to help out our offense in that situation. However, like I said, great play calls. The thing about this team is they fly around. Ever since Brian Kelly got fired, this new guy comes in here, and he brings pressure, and these guys flow. They run to the ball. You got to use that momentum against them. Great play call right here, drawing everybody to the left side of the field. You got, that is Rodney Hill clearing out the DB on the backside, and just a great concept, throwing it to your tight end, sneaking out from the opposite side of the line of scrimmage. I mean, we're moving. We're up to the 50-yard line, 2 plays in. Can't ask for a better start. What's the next play going to look like, Arkansas? Can you keep the momentum going? Just a great job by Taylor selling it. Great job by the offensive line selling it. We're rolling. All right, let's go ahead and get to the third play of the drive. I haven't even clipped up any of these plays yet. So once again, got a guy coming in motion. Taylor takes the snap, and you get into a situation. Look at the pocket. This is a team that held Alabama to 3 points in the first, 0 in the third, and only 3 in the fourth, okay? So we can get it done up front. Thing about it is, too, these are things that pop up on tape. Amazing catch, but once again, I don't want our guy this early in the game to have to be making one-handed snags like this on these routine throws and catches. I think, once again, it's popping up a little bit more now than it was at the beginning of the year. Maybe competition, maybe more pressure has something to do with it, but Taylor has to stay poised and just deliver a routine ball. Inaccuracies have kind of been a thing for Taylor since he's been on campus. It seems some days he gets it figured out, but sometimes when he gets a little bit too amped up or worried or concerned, then the accuracy pops up again. But still, a great catch from one of your big-time playmakers, and turns it upfield. That's the third play in our drive, and every single one has been positive. That's a team that prepared during the bye week, that came out ready to play. Great play designs here. Great kick out by the backside tackle. Great running lanes. At this point, the way that they came out, I was just like, okay, the only way Arkansas loses this one, because from what we've seen, LSU, even on the offensive side of the ball, the only way Arkansas lose this one is if they find a way to beat themselves. I shouldn't even thought that. I should know that by now, okay? We've been doing that for the past 7 weeks, all right? But I really thought we were going to get over that hump. And once again, I'm scared to do this sometimes with Coach Petrino, but we can sit here and pick apart these players all we want. What can a coach do to help out these players with the little things? I'm going to show you something a little bit later in a breakdown. But great play, great job of Amarian Harris going up to the second level, getting a block on a linebacker, and letting Mike Washington get a couple extra hard yards. And then we get to where it was just like every Razorback fan, oh, actually, it is not this one. This is our first, I wouldn't say necessarily negative play, but a play where we didn't get anything going. Once again, Talon, a little inaccurate on that crossing route to Omega Blake. And then you get this one right here. All right, so once again, timing is so big. In a slant route, it's a 3-step. You got to get the ball out, not now, but right now, okay? I would love for him to be winding up already. The ball needs to almost be out of his hand because these windows are so tight in the SEC. Now, a lot of people, if you go back and really pick this apart, you could easily point at this receiver down here and say, okay, that'd be a really cool hitch just to throw to on a 2nd and 1, which is going to be wide open. But still, you have an option here. You just need to get the ball out much sooner. He waits just a tad, and that allows that DB to get in there at the last second and compete, at least, for trying to pass that ball up. So small little things, but it's okay. It's still 3rd and 1. And then we run into this issue right here, okay? This was tough to watch. Mike Washington fumbles this ball, and I've been going back and forth on this, trying to figure – because me personally, I'm not a big fan of this play, okay? I want you to hand this ball off, okay? I want you to hand it off. What's that? Am I doing something wrong? Oh, okay, yeah. I do got a tight one. All right, so, oh, sorry, thank you. My director's trying to help me out. I'm not the biggest fan of this play. I like the handoffs because I think when you toss it just for a split second, and they've run this play before in the past. They really have. Just me personally, I want to make sure that the running back's eyes on short yardage are making sure he's looking at his hole and where he's going to try to sliver through. That split second that ball is in the air, Mike Washington has to take his eyes to the ball and then get him back to his hole. I get it. It's a split second, but things down there in those trenches happen that fast. And the thing about it is, if you go back, they ran this play again a little bit later in the game. Same thing. See where his eyes are. Another 3rd and 1. And just that split second, I'm just not a big fan. You see this guy kind of slip through. Mike sees him last second. He's not able to try to find a little avenue to get that done. So even though I'm not the biggest fan of that play, they have ran it before, and it's been successful. But that was before I knew this. So this is exactly what happened on that play. Here's Coach Petrino in his press conference today talking about that fumble from Mike Washington.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take care of the ball. We had situations where, you know, we blew one play, work that play all the time. Mike does it all. He's done it all year long. And somehow he thought he was taking a handoff, and it's a flip. It's not.
That's tough to hear. You know what I mean? And then it makes, and I feel like a lot of fans kind of felt like I feel in these situations of when you watch it at first, why are we not just handing that off, letting him get downhill? But then when you realize he's doing the wrong thing, and that's what caused the fumble, it's okay if you get stopped right there and you don't pick it up on that 3rd and 1. We're in field goal range. You have another opportunity on 4th down, but the turnovers are what kill you. And the worst turnover is when guys are doing the wrong thing. They're doing what they're not coached to do. Those are frustrating and very hard to move past. All right, let's go ahead and keep this breakdown going. That was the first drive, and I'm going to shift into, an area of this game that I felt like, were some questionable coaching things. As much as I don't like the toss play right there, another thing I'm not the biggest fan is Coach Petrino having a little bit too much faith in his guys, okay? On paper, the blocks, if they all work out, are great, but you have to be aware of personnel. This takes me back to the Texas game last year when we had, oh, man, who was our little receiver that we had last year? I mean, he weighed all of about 115 pounds. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But we had him in a situation where we have him blocking a really big defensive back, number 7 from Texas last year. Not a good matchup. I don't like the fact that we're bringing Raylan Sharp down to block the edge defender, who we know it's going to be based off personnel, is the best player on their defense. It ain't going to happen, all right? And you're going to run right into it. That's a big ask from a receiver. I would say that's a big ask from a tight end. Ask, that is A-S-K, okay? Make sure I pronounce that right. And he's supposed to get down here and be involved in this, and it just goes nowhere. Turns a 2nd and 1 to a 3rd and some change. You know, just I'm not the biggest. I wish we were a little bit more aware of the personnel, what we're asking players to do. And the thing is, I know Coach P knows this, and I know sometimes his hands are tied, but I think we're at a point now where we don't have the luxury of wasting any plays, and I don't want to see plays where we know guys are not going to be successful. There's no reason Sharp should get down there, and this is not a knock on Raylan Sharp. It's not. This is just my hats off to number 7, who's going to be a first-round draft pick in the NFL. He doesn't need to be trying to block this guy in this scheme right here. Let's get to another area of this game. Missed opportunities is going to be something that we're going to talk about. And just another part when it comes to great play calls, great play design. All you have to do is just finish the play. Taylon's looking to the right, has zero intention to throw this ball to the right side of the field. The reason he's doing that is because he wants to move this safety. Okay, this is where now I'm getting into the brilliance of Coach Petrino. Talk about a couple questionable things. Now the brilliance. Great play design. You need to move that safety. You also need to get the attention of this safety, and you're going to get one of your highest targeted players to run full speed across this guy's face with zero intention to ever throwing him the football, okay? All of this is to build and set up this crossing route, deep crossing route for this guy right here. Now, he does get tangled up a little bit. I don't like the angle that he's coming out, but Taylon has plenty of time to see this, and these are the ones you just can't miss, okay? You would expect a guy making millions of dollars. Yes, he's very explosive with your feet, but when the plays are there and it's wide open for touchdowns, you can't miss them. You see it thrown right here. Great concept, just overthrow him. Look at all that space in front of him. Would have walked in for a touchdown. And now I know we went on to score, and it was 14-0 at some point. But missed opportunities is something we cannot afford, okay? So that's just one right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at another one. This is going to be on a 2nd down, another potential missed opportunity from right here. As Taylon gets out of the pocket, for some reason, I'm not sure exactly what transpired. We ended up having a very long 3rd down. But this is where I sometimes struggle with Taylon of, like, what are we looking at? This is what this play is designed to do. And you're looking right at him. Now, I know what he's feeling. You see that guy right in the middle of that field that's about to hit him underneath the chin? This is where you tell those guys. I remember Coach Petrino used to say this to Ryan Mallett. You know he said it to Tyler Wilson. You remember that Alabama game when Tyler Wilson was just taking shots on the chin all day long, but he was throwing touchdowns. You have to stand in the pocket, throw this, and just take the hit, okay? It's right there. Ball already needs to be in the air, but he lets that guy kind of get in his mind. He pulls it down and tries to run out of the pocket when he doesn't need to. You just have to take the hit, move on, and make a big-time play. This right here is extremely difficult for me because this was my bread and butter. And I remember sometimes if Mallett didn't throw it to me on this play, I would go back and cuss him out on the sideline. Like, what are you doing? There was one time he didn't throw it to me on this play when I was open because he threw it to Jarius Wright. And Jarius Wright ended up going for 60 yards, so I couldn't be too mad at him. But this is my play, all right? We got Jaden Platt on the end of the line of scrimmage. And the reason I'm mad at it right here is because this guy right here is responsible for potentially taking care of this flat. As soon as you see him boot out, he looks for the deep crosser, okay? And so they're keying this guy. Is that who I think it is? If that's Omega Blake, I'm going to lose my mind. I really go back and see how many of Taylon's interceptions were him trying to target Omega Blake. I really have to see how far this guy's coming over. It may not be the case. But right here, this ball needs to come out. This is the number 1 guy in this progression. Said this in the post game. I know maybe y'all are thinking maybe he looks downfield for a shot and then he dumps it out to the tight end. That is not the case, and I got proof. Here's Coach Petrino on this one. And I don't know how many times in the post game when I try to explain something, then I see stuff like this happen. It's just tough. Here's Coach Petrino on this pick by Taylon Green.
You know, and the one that's really disappointing to me on Taylon is the naked. When you come out and the tight end's number 1 in the progression and he's wide open and we didn't throw him the ball. I'm not sure why. That's something that cannot happen.
Can't happen. I know a lot of people would say, then why are we not pulling them? Okay, guys, I just Coach P, and I would say most of the people in that program. I know a lot of people think that maybe because the money is involved and you got so much invested in this kid. I really don't think that's the case. Okay, I really do believe even today, and I know this may rub people the wrong way. The best chance that our offense has is when Taylon Green is on the field. Okay, I'm not saying Taylon Green is a Heisman candidate. I'm just looking at our options available. That's not a knock on KJ Jackson, but I think to ask him to come in on the road, LSU, with zero really experience in real-time games, best chance we got on the field right now is Taylon Green. And he has his Superman moments, and we're going to talk about some in a minute. But this play right here for Taylon is unexcusable. This is hurting your team in the worst way. When you're not doing what you're coached to do and you try to do too much, eyeing your favorite guy down in triple coverage, that's a tough one to wrap your mind around. And I could probably count now on two hands how many times that Taylon has made just some decisions where I'm just like, oh, Taylon, I want to help your back as much as possible, but you make it tough when you do stuff like this. I don't know how to stop it. One way to stop it would be to put someone else in, but Petrino's rolling with them, so we're going to see what we got going. Hate that missed opportunity right there. And now let's get to this one. This is when Coach Petrino, first of all, we got to send like a card to that reporter, an apology. I mean, she was not expecting to run into somebody crashing out on that sideline before halftime. I mean, Coach Petrino was livid after this, saying, we're playing everybody. I've heard that voice before. The real Coach P, he came out on that one. But let's go ahead and take a look at this interception right here. This one hurt, y'all. Driving before half, have an opportunity to get points on the board. This ended up being a 10-point swing. And once again, I think Coach Petrino's reaction to this one was a little too much, and by a little, a lot. I don't think this is pass interference. Now, people are going to argue with me on this one. I don't think it warranted that response from him on the sideline. And that's just me watching the tape. Now, let's just say if it was pass interference, you can't bring that energy into the halftime when you're down 2. It's 16-14 at this point because you don't need your guys coming out thinking, oh, we're playing against the refs now. You can't have that, okay? You got to have them focused. Coach got to lock in, and I get it. We can talk about it after the game and bottle it up with inside. But I think based off what happened the week before and what was going on with all the penalties, I think Coach Petrino feels like, okay, y'all are messing with me a little too much right now, and he's very frustrated. I get it. Your team had a chance to score before halftime, put you in a really big spot. However, Omega Blake, I think this is the second time you've done something that has caused Taylon to throw a pick. Earlier in that Auburn game, the second pick that he threw, I put this on my stream, talked about the outside release. It's mandatory. That's not a suggestion. That's not, saying, hey, think about it. It's a mandatory outside release. It brought the corner over there to him. You have to fight right here on this one. This is a big-time matchup and a big battle for position. And so at first, I thought this was Taylon's fault. Looking at the film, I can't really put this on Taylon. You're going to see Omega Blake stem outside, and he's running a slant route. He's supposed to stem outside, and then he's supposed to cross this guy's face. As soon as he commits, you cannot change your mind. You can't, because now this quarterback in the red zone knows I don't have a lot of time to stay in this pocket. I have to get this ball out. And if Omega Blake crosses the face like he's supposed to and what he's trying to do, at worst, it's an incomplete pass, okay? But right here, when they kind of get jumbled up, you see Taylon right now, it's a good ball. Your guy has inside leverage on this guy, and you're throwing it to where he can get the catch. But right here, when he felt like maybe it was a little too handsy, he gave up on the play, and he let this guy come underneath where he was supposed to be. And then now we got an interception, and now everybody's mad at Taylon, thinking it's his fault. That one was not on Taylon. I hate to say it. I look at those bang-bang plays in the red zone. You have to, as a receiver, understand, if I have to cross face, if I don't, it's going to end up being a pick. I think number 4 right there just wanted it more, and that's exactly what showed on tape. And those are some things that maybe Omega you can go back and watch and try to grow from. But right there, from that one clip, you had 2 people. Who wants it more? Number 4, he showed us who that guy was on that play. I left you with that interception. And like I said, I'm going to show some of these where I feel like I see why he's in. Like Talon has his moments. He has his moments where he shine, moments when he does stuff that a lot of people can't do. You got this a comment coming in from the super chat. We did run Cowboy Go Get It pass, though. Loved it. I think I got that play in here right now. Yeah, I am going to have that play in there. And I really like the decision that Talon made. People are kind of criticizing that one, too, because he missed a wide-open guy, but I think I know why. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But let's go ahead and pull this breakdown back up, and let's keep it rolling. All right, so let's move to concepts. This is where I see these clips of, okay, Talon's learning. He's getting in the right direction. Why is that name up there? That's not Josh Throne. Y'all bear with me. I can't be talking while Josh's name is up like that. There we go. All right, here we go. So if you go back to the first interception that Talon threw against Auburn, if you go back and listen to that press conference, Coach Petrino referenced a cloud corner. Okay, he said he didn't see the cloud corner. Well, he ran it against Tennessee. He saw it. Not sure why he didn't see it. And he even named the play. He said the play was blue. Well, guess what? Exact same play, exact same coverage, giving Talon another opportunity, and that's big. Trust him to make the right call, and that's exactly what he did. He makes the perfect read right here. He understands that cloud corner is sitting on the flat route, and this is where you have to throw it into that two-hole shot made famous by good old Ryan Mallett. Probably other quarterbacks before him, but a lot of Razorback fans remember him always throwing it in there to Greg Childs. It's very tough to make this throw, and he throws a bullet right here. Throws it right there, perfect play. That was leading up, trying to get that score in before halftime. Can't ask for a better throw and a great decision. And then I was like, where'd Courtney Crutchfield come from? All right, that was cool to see him out there. 2-3 years ago was the #1 player in the state, went to Missouri, haven't heard anything about him, and he makes a big-time play on the sideline. Would love to see more of that going for that young man. But big-time throw. Another one with Talon. When I talk about just the Superman things, anyone else in the country, this is a sack, a breakdown and pass protection up front on a play where they're trying to go up a few possessions, try to get a 2-point conversion. I don't know anyone else that can do this. Not only avoid the pressure, but look at this. That is big time. And so in these situations, man, I just had a conversation with my guy Gwatney here. Live by it, die by it. That's just the name of the game with Talon Green. Now, I will say this. We've been dying a lot, okay? And it'd be cool if we'd lived a little bit more, and then I think you get a little bit more grace when it comes to Talon Green. But once again, that makes me think, what does KJ Jackson really look like? The only people who know are the people in that locker room, all right? Now, I'll say this. I open up this platform from anyone who wants to come on and chit-chat. So if y'all know something I don't know, just let me know. Doesn't matter if it's an uncle, a parent, KJ himself, all right? I highly doubt that's going to happen, but I'm going to throw it out there just in case. All right, let's keep this thing moving. Let's get to these fourth down situations. And once again, you talk about Coach P. We were 3 for 4 on fourth down. That's a great day. I don't care who you are, especially on the road, making decisions that are tough. Great play call, great read by Talon Green, great blocking by the receivers, convert on a 4th and 2. Big-time call. Cowboy Go Get It pass. Chris Caver just called for it. Great execution. Now, you're going to see this guy guarding Rohan Jones. He stumbles right here. But right now, from Talon's perspective, it looks covered. And I will say I am happy with Talon making a decision quick on this. He sees option 1's not there. Let me get my eyes to option 2, okay? And option 2 is going to be Platt going out to the flat. Now, yes, he stumbled and he ends up being open, but I think Talon made the right decision right there. Now we get to this situation right here. And it was funny when I was watching this. I don't have this far. I don't have it this far on the film right here. But if you go back and watch the TV edit, these guys from LSU, as soon as Arkansas broke the huddle, they were all waiting on the goal line. And then they started barking. And I know what they were saying. They was talking that mess. I would have been like, hold on, let me take a timeout. Let me rethink this one, all right? And I'm going to tell you exactly why here in a little bit, based off what the defense has been doing, what's been happening in the offense, the prior plays to this. Pride kind of comes in, And I'll say this D-line for LSU, they're legit. They had some dudes, and they played at an extremely high level. You get to this 4th and goal. They tried the little tuss push. I don't think they executed it very well. Clearly, they didn't execute it very well at all. But I go ahead and break this down. On this one, you don't have any room for any movement backwards. You have to be in your stance already. Talon takes this almost negative step right there. That puts him behind the 8 ball. Outside of that, I would like this fullback to already be up in there and help with the push. You got this big guy from LSU, number 90, jumping over the line of scrimmage. Sorry, there's too many bodies in there. I can't really put a circle on him. But he ends up twisting Talon Green. The other thing with Talon is his pad level is way too high. His helmet needs to be almost in that little spot in that crevice right underneath you see number 90? His helmet needs to be at the beginning of that 9. And I would like our running backs to be up there a little bit as well. And so I think it's just poor execution. But one thing I noticed was the snap count. These guys are getting off the ball extremely fast for LSU. I mean, almost before Arkansas gets off the ball. I think we did a really, really poor job with our snap count. That's how you slow down teams like this is you see NFL quarterbacks, even some college quarterbacks that get these guys to jump off sides. That's how you slow down these guys and make them think at the line of scrimmage. But when they get a kind of a rhythm and a cadence of when you're going to say hut, that's bad news, man. That's the advantage for the offense, not for the defense, and they took advantage of our snap count. I'm going to show you a couple clips of that. Now, the thing about it is, the reason I said I probably would have said timeout, let me think about this for a second, is because you had 2 opportunities, and then one guy that's not on the field that was noticeable in these situations was our guy Braylon Russell. All right, big body. That's what you want down there in the goal line. He was dealing with a concussion. He's in concussion protocol. So the backup fullback came in. This is a play we've ran with Braylon a lot. This is 2 plays before that 4th and goal, and it's blocked up perfect. But our guy, as soon as he gets the ball, he slips, okay? Look at this line, perfect line. You just squeeze right on through there and into the end zone, but he ends up slipping right there untouched, and he can't get through. Look at that wall of offensive linemen right there ready to escort him in for a touchdown. Got a little, I think our thing's a little messed up. You may have to jiggle it here in a little bit. Looks good right now. But you can see that right there, and you see Talon, he sees it too, man. He's just like, oh, no, that was our shot. And then we ended up trying to go for it on 3rd, kind of blown up again. At some point, that's where you just got to say, it ain't working for us down here. Hindsight, though, right? Another situation right here. This is a 4th and 6. So, once again, that's the only 4th down we missed. Great play call right here. They had a miscommunication in the secondary. Taylor gets the ball out quick. Would have been a penalty anyway. And so you got to like it. Going for it on 4th down and being successful most of the time except for that goal line situation. Now, I'll go back to this guy. Remember this dude I was talking about, number 88? It looks like he knows our snap count more than the offensive line. Here goes another example. Watch how fast this guy gets off the ball, gets into his move. They're just causing havoc all day long. Another situation right here. This is as fast as I could freeze frame this. This guy is already out of his stance while most of our linemen are still in their stance, but the ball has been snapped. All right? They picked up on it. The cadence, the clap, the everything. As a coach, you have to understand and see this, and then you have to take advantage by using hard counts to get these guys to jump off sides. You didn't see that at all. That's how you slow that down, all right? And it showed up way too much on tape. I mean, look how fast these guys are in the backfield. Blows it up before they have a chance to hand it off. And once again, a situation where you're taking tackle for a loss. I got a little bit better example coming up here in just a second. But once again, just the struggle. When these guys have the anticipation on the snap count, it lets them not think about anything and gets into their pass rush real quick without worrying about jumping off sides and causing themselves 5 yards. The other thing when it comes to this, which I was surprised I didn't see a lot, usually when guys are coming off that fast and they're getting upfield, where's my screens at? All right, that's usually a big way to take advantage of that as well. Tight end screen, running back screen, tunnel screen, and that's the way you slow these guys down from that pass rush. I just didn't see a lot of it. And then here goes Perkins, all right? So this is where you know that they've been watching this on film, okay? We got to tell, and they're all over it. Talon goes through his cadence. He looks back, lets Mike Washington knows what's going on, and Perkins is just looking at him because he knows when he needs to start this blitz, okay? Talon goes back, looks forward, and as soon as he's about to clap, you already see Perkins. He's leaning. He's like, okay, I got it. He's about to clap. As soon as Talon gets this clap, he takes off, all right? Now look how fast he gets in the backfield, all right? Coaches have to see that. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Usually an offensive coordinator or a quarterback coach should be up in the box realizing, hey, they got this figured out. You would love for an offensive lineman to come over to the sideline and say, hey, we got to try to make them jump off sides. Something's missing. Now, I don't know if it's because Coach P's trying to pull double duty. You got a new OC in who's probably not worried or thinking about stuff like that. I think when you're a program, when you have so much stacked against you, I said this earlier before I started, you sometimes miss the little things that can take you over that hump and help you out. One of the biggest issues we had were being behind the chains a lot. It was like 2nd and 20, 3rd and 19, 3rd and 12, 2nd and 15, just because we were struggling with this pass rush. So I really wish that's something they pay attention to because Texas is going to see this on film, and I promise you they're going to try to see what Talon has going on with his rhythm and cadence and try to get a little jump on the snap. All right, here's my last point. Self-awareness, all right? I'm going to sound like old man on the front porch right here. I already know it. And I like Mike Washington. I think he's a great guy. I like Rohan Jones. I think he's a great guy. I like all of our guys. I think they're all cool dudes. But you got to have some self-awareness. We just scored a touchdown. It's third quarter. We're about to go up, all right? Preference for me. Fellas, let's celebrate this, but we still got a lot to go because we've been in this situation for the past 7 weeks. Let's go finish the game, all right? I don't know why. As soon as I saw this, I was just like, oh, we're finna lose this game. We think we're good right now. I need our sense of urgency to be at an all-time high, and I almost don't want to celebrate anything until the clock hits 0 and we got more points than them because it's been a long time since that happened. We get into the end zone, and I don't know what it was about this and the nice little and look at my guy just, oh, God. I can't. I sound like old man on the front porch right now, right? But I need us mindset-wise to get in this spot. Football is fun, as it should be, all right? What's even more fun is winning. I really want our mindset, hopefully going into Texas, is to take moments like this of understanding, hey, let's celebrate, guys. Hey, good job, good block, good block, good block. Hey, we still got a lot of work to do. Let's go finish this one, okay? Let's not keep doing what we've been doing for the past 7 weeks. Let's go finish this one. I think that's a TikTok dance, all right? And that's what I got from my guy in the chair. I'm a little old for this one, all right? And I just don't want the mindset to be when we score, let's go get in the front of the camera and hit this TikTok dance real quick, and then we'll post it on social media later. It drives me insane, all right? Now, I'm sure if we're winning, it's not a big deal. I don't mind anymore. But after 8 losses in a row, let's get back to the sideline and let's go, all right? Great play, great run, great blocking. Hey, let's go finish the game now. Let's not worry about getting in front of this camera. I don't know what it is about it. Just drives me crazy, y'all. Mindset, all right? That's our breakdown here for tonight.